So this one is just to show you on the battlefield how it was, so that you can have an overview what was happening, right? Donc, when the Mahabharat war became inevitable, right, it had to happen. The Kaurav, the Pandav, they gathered their soldiers, their army, even they took the help of Krishna, right? So it was decided that war would start. So when they went on the battlefield, you have the two sides, the Kaurav and the Pandav and the Kaurav side. Now, when Arjun on his Arjun, when he saw, when he saw the opponents, that is the Kaurav, Arjun decided not to fight. He dropped his weapon. He told Krishna to stop the chariot because Krishna was riding the chariot. He told Krishna to stop it. And he saw all these people around and he dropped his weapon. He decided he's not going to fight. So this is the very chapter of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You don't have it in your syllabus, but I'm starting with it. So the first chapter talks about Arjun, right? The despondency of Arjun. How, when seeing the Kaurav, okay, he refuses to fight. He refused to fight, okay? Why did he refuse to fight? Because, you know, when there is a war, there are so many people, right? And we have the innocent soldiers. And Arjun said he would not like to kill the innocent soldiers because it is not their fault that this war is happening. So he does not want to fight. And he saw, of course, the Kaurav, the 100 brothers, ses frères. So he said he's not going to fight because he's not going to kill his brother just for the sake of kingdom, of property. So yeah, he said, I'm not going to kill my brothers for kingdom, for property. And among the Kaurav, on the side of the Kaurav, there were also the gurus, the two, especially the two gurus, Dronacharya and Kripacharya. They were the two gurus. So he did not want to kill the two gurus. He will have to kill the two gurus. I mean the Pandav, they will have to kill to defeat them, right? Parce que maintenant, ne prend pas of adharma in adharma. So that's why he refused to fight. He said he's not going to fight and he dropped his weapon, right? So the first chapter is about the despondency of Arjun, where he gives his views why he's not going to fight. He starts questioning himself. Who is he? Why is it here? Why is he here on the battlefield? Why is all this happening? No, he starts questioning. This is what we do in our life. In any situation, whatever is happening in our life, this is what we usually do. We keep on questioning, why this? Why that? Why me? Right? So Arjun there on the battlefield, he represents a modern man. Like us, a modern man, you will see, or if ever you have read the Bhagavad Gita, so he is typically like the modern man like us. Dans n'importe quelle situation, we always question things, we always question ourselves. Okay? Now, what was the main thing which weakened Arjun? C'était the attachment. attachment to the brothers, attachment to even those soldiers qui peut-être pas connus, right? Even attachment to the gurus, right? So that attachment acted as a barrier in his duty as a kshatriya, as a warrior. Okay. So souvent des fois, une situation like that, c'est on nous attaché avec quelqu'un or maybe the material world, luxurious things, okay? We tend to take the wrong decision. And this is what Arjun is doing. Okay, so then Krishna here decided to give him the lesson of life that he has to fight, where finally at the end he said, okay, I'm going to fight, right? So that conversation of Arjun and Krishna, that conversation is called the Bhagavad Gita. It is called the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavat is like Bhagwan, God, and Gita is like Geet, the song, and Shah, the song of God, where God, Krishna, sings, maybe you can say that, or talks to Arjun. Okay, and you can take also the example of Mahatma Gandhi, where he always carried a Bhagavad Gita and he firmly believed that the Bhagavad Gita contains lessons of life and answers of all our questions in whatever situation we might be. Even when Gandhi was in the prison, for example, he was always reading the Bhagavad Gita, right? So that can be something to quote in your work. And you know, Bhagavad Gita today is famous worldwide. Many people read it. We have many translations in many different languages, but the original language is Sanskrit, so quite difficult might be, but we have translations of that, and that all thanks to the ISKCON. No, since ISKCON propagated everywhere. Not only ISKCON, but the major role is that of ISKCON here. So they propagated worldwide. So then they got all translations in many languages, right? So let's see the chapter 2. What Krishna says in the chapter 2. The first chapter is the questions of Arjun, the despondency of Arjun. And here Krishna answers to his questions, right? So firstly, what Krishna, this is a summary of the Bhagavad Gita. You know, if we have to discuss really the Bhagavad Gita, it will take us so much time, you know. And by the way, we have 18 chapters, 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita, right? With 700 verses. Right. So the very first lesson you can take out from the chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita is the perishable nature of the body. The body is perishable. Okay. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm talking, my senses are functioning because my Atma is in me. And tomorrow, what if I die? I die. What happened? Est-ce que my senses still function? No, because the soul has already come out of the body, right? And then what happens to the body? The body perishes. So, you know, endemically, nous pas have God for long, right? Okay, we can freeze it also, but for how long? We'll have to discard the body because the body becomes useless. Qui peut faire avec ça, right? It has no meaningless. So the body perishes. But what happened then to the soul which was in the body? Right now, all of us, we have a soul in the body. when it will come out, will die, blah, blah. So the soul is going to perish. That is the very nature of the body. The body is not eternal. But what about the soul? The soul is definitely eternal. What will happen afterwards? After that, this soul comes out of the body. It will go in another body. Another body can be the body of a human again. Maybe in my next life, I can be a human again. Or I can degrade, like becoming an animal or a plant, right? I can degrade, I take birth in the animal kingdom or the plant kingdom. Or what can happen is I get liberation. That is, I do not take birth again. That is the only possibility, right? Now, why will the soul, right? Why will the soul, lali dans un l'écho human, but next birth, qui fait les caparons dans l'écho an animal or plants? Comme the animal involve everything, even the insect is part of, right? Why is it so that we degrade ourselves? It's because of karma. The actions that we are doing, whatever we do, it counts. So the dharma is important. We need to follow dharma because we do not want to take birth again as animals. So the animals, nous pas qui qualité category will take birth. The last body of an animal qui est un soul rentré, donc tout ça là, c'est the cow. After the cow, the body enters the human body. Okay. Donc, nous avons les autres animaux. I don't know if you will realize also or not. At times we do have tendencies like certain animals. People have that. Parce que we have been through those bodies. Avant qu'il nous atma vienne dans sa human body là, we have been plants, we have been animals, and finally the soul entered this human body. So what is the aim now? I'm not going to degrade myself. What is the aim? Say to get liberation or to be in a better body in terms of nous reconnaissance as human, but in a better place, in a pious family, or maybe, you know, like very spiritual person. That is the aim, or to get liberation. So Krishna here explains the difference between the body and the soul. The body will perish, but the soul is here for eternity, right? So when Arjun is seeing the god of, oh, this is my brother, this is the innocent soldier, this is my gurus and all, he is actually attached to the body, to the bodies of those persons, right? Usually the question, you know, souvent des fois, which we ask, who are you? No, or even when you ask yourself, who am I? Who are you? When I ask you, who are you? You will usually we answer that I am this person. Maybe you'll give your name, right? But that name, let's say my name is Disha. That name belongs to the body. This body's name is Disha, which the Disha will perish one day. But the soul, no. These are the fundamental question we need to each time ask ourselves, who am I? I'm not this body. I'm not the thought. I am the soul. Souvent des fois, you know, in the spiritual realm, people say that I am. I am I, not the I, the ego. I say I am the soul. I am the soul. Atma, the soul, right? So this is what Krishna explains. Even if Arjun is killing Duryodhan or whoever he's killing on the Kaurav side, he's killing the body, but not the soul, right? So this is about it. These are quotations. Learn one of them or both of them. That will be good. Firstly, let's see that the Atma is unborn, beginningless, endless, right? It is eternal, in other words. So Krishna says in the chapter 2, just like one discards old clothes and put on new ones, quand on l'installe ou déchiré, we change. We change the clothes. We put on the good one or the new ones. Similarly, Atma casts off the worn out body and enters a new one. When the body becomes worn out veut dire qualifié, living incapable of doing things, then the Atma leaves the body and enters another body. Now, you might have a question, but we have so many people who are dying early, they are young. Having a young body doesn't mean the body is not worn out. The body can be worn out in many ways, pas seulement vieux. It can be someone very material, and it all depends on karma. No, we can't really relate to that. Parce que ça, c'est the work of karma, the law of karma, right? Weapons cannot cut the soul, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, and wind cannot dry it. So nothing can affect the soul, right? So these two, they are the two important quotations to use. Pas seulement in Bhagavad Gita, but whenever you're talking about the soul, make sure you add these quotations, right? I continue. Next is the significance of performing one's duty, right? We are all allotted a duty to do. I have always said that. We have a particular duty, we have a mission here on earth. We have not taken birth here just by coincidence. Never. We have a mission here. It can be in any way, it can be to help someone to do good. Okay. So the thing is, we are bound to act. We are bound to act. We cannot remain inactive. Inactive is where you don't do anything. No? Souvent, quand peut-être on est en demandant, what are you doing? People say, oh, no, yeah, nothing. But actually, this cannot be done. This nothing cannot be done. Because if you take the word karma, karma comes from the word kri. Kri. And kri means to do, to act. Karma comes from the word kri. Kri means to act, to do. And ou bien to perform. What do we do? Any action that you do. Sitting, it is an action. You are eating, it is an action. You're lying, it is an action. You're dreaming, it is an action. You're helping someone, it is an action. Whatever we do, it is an action. So we are bound to act also because of the three gunas. Three gunas. Gunas, which are the qualities. The three qualities that everyone here possesses. The sattva, the rajas, and the tamas. Tamas gun say, at times when you feel lazy, inertia, sleepy, when we should not sleep, no? The night is At night, we feel sleepy because the night time has been made to sleep. That is very normal. That is the time of tamas, the night, right? So that is called the tamas gun, when you have these qualities, feeling lazy, you don't want to do things and all. Rajas gun, say the morning, the time where we work. You know, Rajas is the gun which makes you active. So you go to work, for example, and if you are not active, right? So this is the Rajas gun. Rajas gun kuma udapikta in terms like qualities like you are energetic, right? This is the Rajas gun. And then the Sattva gun. Sattva gun, in terms of time, c'est le matin. That's why people say we need to wake up early in the morning to revise, to learn, to do prayers, to do meditation. So the morning time, what we also call Brahma Muhurt, no? The morning time. It is advisable to learn in the morning, where there is the Sattva gun predominating, not at night, because at night is the Tamas gun, right? So Sattva gun, say, it is represented in terms of calmness, peacefulness, wisdom, knowledge, right? So in a person, when we are born, we have the three gunas. Tamas gun dominate more here. Parce que un bébé, tous les temps, il peut dormir, etc. Ça, c'est the tamas gun, which is very normal. Quand l'enfant il grandit, Rajas gun predominate, living active, no? So at any point of our life, there are always the three gunas. And there is one gun which always predominates. Doesn't mean that the other do not exist, right? But there is always one gun which predominates in you at a time. Let's say right now you are learning something. This is very sattvic time. I mean, having sattvic quality, right? Maybe at 9 o'clock at night, you will feel sleepy. This is the tamas gun predominating in us. So the point here is what Krishna says, the three gunas make us act. Now, Kifeli Pejasa Arjun here. Arjun is a kshatriya. He is a warrior. And in a warrior, which gun should predominate is the Rajas gun. And warrior develop up in a Sattva gun. Like Buddha having the Sattva gun, peacefulness, no, prince of peace, no, a warrior cannot have the Sattva guns, you know, he can't fight. He can't really establish law and order. So the warrior should have Rajas gun predominating, which is not the case of Arjun on the battlefield. Right? So that's what Krishna is explaining to him. And Krishna talks about the Nishkam karma. The Nishkam karma is selfless action. That is, you do the action and do not expect the result. Do not expect what you will get out of it. Selfless action, right? So Krishna has said your duty is to work and remain unconcerned about the result, right? It's good to know that if I do this work, this will happen. But it's not that I keep on waiting for the result. Whatever I have done, the result will come at a time. That is very obvious, which will happen. Okay, it is bound to happen like that. So we should not, you know, remain what will happen if I do this or that, or reste fatigué, or have done this, so this is going to happen to me. When an action is done, it's done. You can't undo the action, right? Let not the results of action be our motive, right? And Krishna here explains to him the karma, the concept of karma, which he has to put into practice here. Now, does it mean that Arjun did not know all these things? He knew all this. Arjun was a very knowledgeable, wise person. Pareil comme un nous. Think of yourself. It must happen to you in life. You are in a certain situation. You know what to do, but you can't act. Qui fait maybe of attachment. No, you can't act at that time. Mais si tu quelqu'un d'autre, you would have advised, do this thing, but you can't do it in that situation, right? Attachment is one of the biggest problems that we don't succeed, right? So if Arjun removes the attachment from himself at that time, he's ready to fight, right? The warrior, he's ready to fight. Krishna says, a man, what is the quality of a man of spiritual person, spiritual person? He should be a man of perfect wisdom. Krishna uses the word sthita pragya. Sthita means stable. Okay. You know, a knowledgeable person is not sthita. Okay. Dipane sisya au fait. A knowledgeable person is sthita. A wise man only can be sthita. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Souvent, des fois, nous cassons dit comme synonyme. Very true. But there is a difference. Okay. The knowledge I gather from the, let's say from the scriptures, I've read so many scriptures and all, fine. But what's the use of it when I don't put that into practice? Point. Now, when we put that knowledge into practice, it becomes wisdom. Then we are called a wise person. So Arjun needs to be a person of sthita pragya, right? A person of sthita pragya, that is perfect wisdom, he remains stable. He remains stable in whatever circumstances. He remains free from attachment. He remains free from fear and anger. He remains free from desires. His desires are dead. And is same in prosperity and adversity. This is to be, like we call that, to be unaffected by the pair of opposites. Whatever happiness is, you know, happening in your life, or there is the time of adversity or sorrow, we remain unaffected, which is quite difficult. If someone dies in my home, maybe I'll cry or something. So I'm not a person of sthita pragya. But the person who says, okay, this had to happen, it was bound to happen, this is life, this is normal, and the soul has to own journey, the soul will take birth again. No, that is a man of sthita pragya, where he or she remains calm, equal, and same, unaffected. Right? It's quite difficult not to practice this personally. For me, it is quite difficult. But it happens with time, with age. Right? It happens. Now let's start chapter 3. Chapter 3 is dedicated to Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is the path of action, which Krishna already started explaining in the chapter 2. Right? Like I told you, no one can exist without performing action, because the three gunas are bound to make us act. We will have to act. Whether good or bad, ça c'est quelque chose d'autre, but we will have to act. That is obvious. Now Arjun, after listening to Krishna in the chapter 2, he was still questioning himself. What is good for him? Which path should he choose in his life? Right? So relating to that, we will say that there are two paths in life. Which one you're going to choose? Say typically that same thing. There are two paths in life. We call that the prayer, not prayer puja, and the prayer, which is called the pleasant path. Pleasant, say, where you enjoy the senses. There is lots of pleasure, right? And then there is the Shreya. Shreya means the good one. And this has been explained also in the Katha Upanishad. You can refer to that also, dans le devoir, okay? It has been written in the Katha Upanishad. So right now, Arjun, he's in a fix. Should I fight or not? Right now, he's being trapped in the prayer path because he said, I'm not going to fight. He's trapped there. So he has to overcome that, to fight that, to walk on the Shreya path. As a warrior, he has to fight. This is what he asked Krishna, actually. You help me, you tell me, which path should I choose? Right? Now, Krishna also told him that act for the sake of sacrifice. The word yajna, or yagya, yajna, yagya, whatever the pronunciation you want. What is yajna? What is sacrifice? Sacrifice is what we do to fire sacrifice. This is one thing. We invoke God, ingredients in the fire. This is one kind of sacrifice. Second kind of sacrifice can be animal sacrifice, which of course is out of question to do that here. And the sacrifice we are talking is what? Whatever we do, Krishna says in this particular chapter, whatever we do should not be for ourselves. We should not be selfish. He explained very well in this chapter, every action should be dedicated to others. To others, and it can be to the people in the house, living in the house, because we have certain responsibilities, or to the country, or to the society. It should be for the sake of all, for the sake of the goodness of all, which we also call the Loka Samgraha. Loka Samgraha means to work for the good of all. So here, Arjun has to act for the sake of sacrifice. The sacrifice he has to do here is as a warrior to fight, to do the right thing. This is his sacrifice, right? And when he is doing that, he is doing Loka Samgraha. Quand il peut fight, il peut faire Loka Samgraha. That is, he is working for the welfare of others because he is protecting the society. He is protecting people from evil. And Krishna tells him that you have to set example to be a path maker, like King Janak. He took that example here, like King Janak was the one who set example. You have to be, right, to set example to others. History cannot make Arjun a villain, a coward that he could not fight, right? And finally, Krishna tells him that we need to conquer the evil, which is called desire. Desire, we need to conquer that. When a desire is fulfilled, what happens? You get another desire. So, if you fulfill, you'll get another desire. This is very human nature, right? But what happens with this? This is greed. And if a desire remains unfulfilled, you wanted to get something, you did not get it. What happened? We develop negative qualities. Let's say, mo valza ingen And BMW, I wanted the same, right? And I could not get it. I'm angry. I'm jealous. This is example, right? So, and out of that anger and jealousy, I will do bad things, right? I will do more bad actions. So we need to conquer that evil of desire to be able to get moksha. But to get moksha also, it is a desire, but fine, it is a good one. It is a desire which makes us act to get it. Non, pareil comme on dit, on a envie de gagner a dress, you want to buy a dress, you don't have enough money now. You work for it, you get the money and you buy the dress. Means you worked for that. But it's not proper to have lots of desires like that. But getting moksha is a desire. We work for that, to get that, to reach there. Right? Reaching God is definitely a desire. So this is the chapter 3. It talks basically say karma here, right? And the evil loka samgraha acts for the welfare of others, right?